We'll move on to our work session. First item is to approve. I'd like to ask that we remove item number 1 from that work session agenda. They've decided to gather some other information before they make a presentation. So with that, we have 8 items on our agenda, excluding that first one. So do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll say motion.
Motion, do I have a second? Discussion on that item. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. We've had no one sign up on the sign-up sheet, so we'll move on to our agenda items. First item is district voting from Ms. Ellen O'Connor.
I'm going to hand you these, and you'll each take one. There should be 7 there for you. Now I can say good evening because it's a really dark night. Chairman Hodges, Commissioners Guppy, Venerable, Miller, and Ledwell, County Attorney Mr. Porter, and County Administrator Sandra. Y'all know that I'm Ellen O'Connor, and I come before you this evening as a citizen of Jackson County to ask this commission to consider formulating a new resolution in regard to district voting. I handed you all a copy of the previous resolution that was okayed by former commissioners, so you can read that. And there's nothing wrong with the writing of it. I think it was very succinct. I don't see a chance that you need to change any wording other than it needs to be redone. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. The issue with resolution number 70 from December of 2010 is that it was never carried down to the legislature to be voted on, so citizens in this county could vote on a referendum for district voting during the 2012 election. So if this gets down to the legislature at the beginning of this session, it's maybe a possibility it could be on the 2014 general election ballot for the citizens to vote on from Jackson County, if all the citizens want district voting or not. But if we don't get it in, it won't get on, and it has to be put in on a general election ballot. In closing, I only ask that you please consider voting next Monday, is at the next session meeting, regular meeting, to rewrite this resolution and then to please deliver it to Senator McGill in his office prior to him going down for the February 5th beginning of the 2013 legislative session. And with that, I thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Take the time to look and review that. Next item, bid for engine repairs on garbage truck.
Can you take a picture of it?
All I know the truck that we purchased years ago is probably it's over 7. Pretty good truck up to the engine. It's bad. It needs to be. We had originally discussed surplusing and selling it, and in fact the commission actually did that. Actually surplus it. We said it, but we've had some other trouble with newer trucks and had to fill in with the rear loaders and everything. And since that time, I've discussed with the auction company that we would normally use to sell these trucks. It cost about $27,000 to put the engine in the truck. That'll have to be bid out. That's what I'm looking to do here tonight. We need to bid it out, and according to the auction company, by doing that, that would probably increase the value of that truck at auction by anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000. So it's a good, it's a good thing to do financially. But actually, what we've looked at doing and want to do is, if we get the new engine, put out the bids and look at it, and we are able to get a new engine in this truck, then we would, as we go on through our rollover program that we're in, which we've got all the new trucks we need before we start rolling, we would like to keep this in this first round, keep this truck as our spare, so we don't have to, when we have a breakdown or something, we don't have to send out the rear loader trucks. Y'all know that rear loader trucks is considered one of the most dangerous jobs that any government employee has to do. It keeps you good for a spare.
Does the commission have to vote to approve to put an item out to bid?
You don't have to vote to approve it.
Just when the bid comes back. I'd like to ask if the sanitation Transportation Committee take a look at this on their recommendation. They can either bid it or not bid it based on that
Okay, and we
recommendation.
can go ahead, if they're okay with it, we put it out. anyway.
Right, is that okay with all the commissioners?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, sir. Next item, expenditures for the month of December. You have in your packets a copy of the expenditures for December. You also have, we have received previously those expenditures for November. So I'd ask that you take a look and review these, and that they be placed on the next agenda to be approved. If you have any questions between then and now, you can ask myself or Ms. Erickson about those items. Okay. Next item, the 2013 holidays. You have the list of 2013 holidays there. These are, as I understand it, the standard ones that are approved annually by the county. It does not include the extras around Christmas Day or the New Year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, again, if you would take the time to review that, we'll place this on the agenda for next Monday night. Any questions or comments on that at this time? We will need to approve that next Monday night due to the January 21st holiday. Okay. Next item, change to January 21st work session. I'd like to ask that we move that work session to the 14th, immediately following the meeting. So we'll have our meeting, and then we'll have the work session for the discussion item following that meeting. Any questions or comments on that? Okay. Next item, pay the sum of $2,967 to the examiners of public accounts. This item's in your packets. Again, this is something that's standard. We do monthly, is that correct?
And this is simply the balance of what was due for our last audit.
Okay, so review that. Any questions or comments on that at this time? Okay. Ask that be placed on the next agenda. Okay, next item, quote from Delta Computer Systems for data export on accounting software. Ms. Erickson?
This is the quote that we received from our current data provider, our current software provider, for extracting the data for our new software provider. It's my understanding from this quote that it's roughly $3,500 per fiscal year, and they will need to extract 2 years of data. This could have been assumed to have been included in the approval of the new software, but I just wanted to bring it forward to make you all aware and to allow you to approve or disapprove the extraction of the data.
Questions on that item? If there's no objection, then we'll place that on the budget meeting next week. Okay, next item, memorandum of understanding for debris removal and our monitoring services. This memorandum of understanding, when we went down to the ACCA conference, they mentioned a debris removal for the counties. I'd like you to take a look at this, and I'd like for Mr. Porter to take a look at this. This is something that I'd like to look at entering into with the towns and cities throughout the county so that they can participate in that debris removal as well. After everyone has to take a look at this, I'd like to bring this back to another work session. If we're prepared, we can bring it to the next week's work session to discuss it further. Any questions or comments on that at this time? Okay. Concludes the items on our agenda, so we'll move on to our reports. Ms. Erickson?
No, thank you.
Mr. Wagner? Mr. Porter?
I don't have any.
Okay. Commissioners, Mr. Millie?
I have none.
Mr. Guthrie?
No, sir.
Mr. Ledwell?
No, sir.
Mr. Bell?
No, sir.
Well, I'll say it, roll tide. All right. I would mention that Judge Harrelson had requested previously to come to our commission about the Roseberry Creek issues. They decided to wait on that due to the questions about the budget. So until they have a better understanding, they've asked that they be pulled off the agenda, and he wanted me to mention that. So we appreciate their understanding with those issues. Okay, that concludes the items on our agenda. So at this time, I entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion, do we have a second?
Yes, sir.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.